Ranger, I've come across some information that might interest you. I've just been contacted by Benny Sav, a Valican fix-it man who operates out of Fort Denver. He claims he got info on the whereabouts of your friend Del Krugo. I thought you might want to check it out. Head for Benny's bar on Fort Denver. You'll find it just below the spaceport.
Thanks, Moscone.
Hello guys, welcome back to Mace Griffin. Sorry for the delay since the last video, but as it turns out, this mission is actually pretty hard and it took me a while to beat it. Yeah, there was lots of dying. You really won't see that in the opening of this level, but believe me, later things will get kinda hairy. Also, this mission takes us away from the plot and we will meet an old friend of Mace, Del Krugo. Mace met Del Krugo while he was in prison in the beginning of the game, and both of them became jail buddies and helped each other out. Del Krugo was also released earlier than Mace and gave him a leg up with the bounty hunter thing. He even paid for the ship and everything, so it's only fair that Mace will risk his neck to save his old buddy. Here is a little detail that I wanted to show off but always forgot about. The developers actually modeled an emergency ejector switch in the cockpit. I guess the door behind Mace would lock and then the cockpit would get ejected from the ship, so that it's like a little rescue pod. Just a nice little detail. And here is another thing that I forgot to point out. Our ship will actually change during the course of the game. If you take a look at the ship back when we got it, you will see that all those weapons aren't installed under the wings. They will only appear after we actually unlock them for our own ship. Same for the big charge laser in the nose that I actually never used so far. But don't worry, it will have its time, eventually.
What do you want?
Aw, Party Bro has turned into Sad Bro. Space life is harsh. Now let's take a look at the few details in Fort Denver that have changed. I have no idea what happened to the ice beast, but I like to think that it was set free and can now happily maul prey on some random ice world. And the man is hassling people around here. Typical.
Show yourself!
You know, buddy, that's kinda freaky. All that interspecies thing, you know? Okay, let's not go there.
That's it. Come to Pop.
I love that they just reused some of the fitting battle quotes for this part. Also, the animations are great around here. It's like, dude, I would touch her like this with both hands. Well, let's leave them to their fun and get on with our business.
Benny's been expecting you. Through the rear door, up the stairs.
Barman! More drinks! Now!
Since this place already has music, I'm not going to add my own, since I don't want to have any audio conflicts when I grab the few dialogue lines in here.
I like the way you move, sweet thing.
I really want to say that this is a reference to something, but I just can't place it. The sentence seems very familiar, but yeah, I just can't figure out where I heard it. That's some gross looking space food, let me tell you.
Got any beer? You're not welcome here, human.
Oh, I see how it is. It's perfectly okay to oogle at female humans, but when a man comes around, oh no, you get all pissy.
Got to be easier ways of making a living?
I don't know, buddy. I think mining rocks in some dirty space asteroid is a bit harder than dancing on a pole.
Hey, Ranger, you not interested in
real women?
I got owned.
Ranger, you're here to find Krugo, yes? That crazy Jaldari. He was trying to collect a bounty on Basak now, a big-time Jaldari slave trader. Not surprisingly, he was captured and sent to Nal's slave mine on Koraf. I can give you the mine's location, but I need a favor in return.
That's a surprise. Let's hear it.
When you entered my bar, you noticed a group of Jaldari, yes? These pigs have been squeezing me for monies. I want you to take care of them. I've okayed it with Moscone, and I've paid off the local enforcers, so you'll have no trouble with them.
Consider it done. Now, the location of the mine.
Excellent. Connor here is a former mine inmate, and as you can probably appreciate, he has a score to settle with now. He has the exact coordinates of the mine, and he'll also get you past the perimeter defenses.
Okay, seal off the front door and tell your barman and dancers to take a hike. Connor, I'll meet you in the spaceport.
It is done.
Well, it seems like Del Krugo got himself into some real trouble, so this mission is about saving his ass. And now let's kill all the jerk Jaldari downstairs, especially the one that owned me so brutally.
What's that?
This fight is actually somewhat challenging because you have to deal with a large number of Jaldaris in a very confined space. But if you whip out the plasma gun and know how to strafe, you shouldn't have too much trouble here. With that said though, I did die here on my first try. Mostly because I didn't know how the Jaldari were placed. And here come the reinforcements.
I crush you!
And there are a few more of them waiting for us at the exit.
Where human go?
And we're done. But before we leave this area, there is a little thing that I want to show off. I already pointed out the retarded fish in the last cutscene, but I still want to give you a better look at them. Just let me struggle my way over the counter. Well, I guess that the fish have a very simple movement routine and that it bugs out when they bump into each other. At one point I saw a little conga line in this fish tank, yeah, something like that. I don't know, it's just something that I found really funny and I wanted to share it with you. Hey Connor, how are you doing?
I've downloaded the mine's coordinates to your ship's navigational computer. Let's go.
Thanks bro, you don't seem so bad for probably being a criminal. This place isn't blue for the cool look, but it's actually an ice asteroid. So I guess it's still kinda cool. Sorry. I can't resist the stupid pun when I see it.
Leave the talking to me.
This is restricted space. Leave immediately or we will open fire.
Easy. I'm here to drop off a consignment for Null. 6 Jaldari concubines.
Make your approach.
They've gone for it. Now take us in nice and easy.
I'm trying really hard not to think about how Jeldari concubines would look. Probably intimidating.
They'll scan us as soon as we enter the hangar. You take care of the rest.
Sorry for drowning out Connor at this point, but I need to kill guys with my minigun. All that he is saying is that we have to clear out the hangar so that he can do some hacking stuff. You really want to kill some guys here with your minigun because there are a lot of guards in the hangar, and if you step out of your ship without killing any of them in advance, yeah, you will have a really bad time. I'm just checking if I can lure out a few more guards. But sadly it wasn't meant to be. So let's do it the old-fashioned way. This level also throws a new enemy variant at us, the prison guard. They can take a bit more damage than the enemies we saw before, and they also have good equipment, which means that they have a lot of plasma guns and rocket launchers. And on top of that they also come in large numbers for the most part. So yeah, that's why I said that this mission is actually kinda hard, because we will see a lot of encounters that can easily kill you in rapid succession. But I don't want to sound like I'm whining here, because Mace is pretty much assaulting a prison all on his own, so yeah, resistance is to be expected. But the difficulty jump is just very sudden, let's put it that way.
Nice work. Follow me to the control room.
Yeah, I do that in a second, but right now I have to collect some pickups. And you can also grab the last new weapon in the game in this area, but it's hidden very well. There is a big stack of containers in the middle of this hangar, and if you're perceptive enough you can see something in the middle of it. Yep, there it is, the sonic cannon. This weapon actually uses sonic shockwaves, but it's much more like a railgun, and it's also pretty awesome. The primary fire is a focused railgun beam. The manual says that it can crush bones and mangle organs, and in the game this translates into instantly gibbing any human enemy. Yeah, it's pretty good. Jeldari will gib on a headshot, but usually take 2 body shots. Also the beam can pierce and you can gib multiple enemies in a row with it. The secondary fire is an AoE shockwave attack that will stun enemies. I'm actually not going to use it in this video because I think that it's very situational, but we are going to have some fun with this weapon, believe me. I'm going to make it rain gibs.
Okay, I'm hacked into the mainframe. You make your way into the mine, I'll guide you from here.
I like that Connor apparently uses his comm device despite Mace being directly next to him. Anyway, let's continue to the first real obstacle in this level. Up there is a bridge and a large gate, and it's very well defended, so I have to be a bit careful here. In a moment you will understand why this place also killed me a couple of times. There are snipers and rocket launcher dudes up there, and they have a very good field of fire on us right now. And here I'm showing that the gun turret in this section is pretty much a trap. You will die if you wanna stick to it. Chilling next to explosive barrels really isn't a good idea, but I kinda have to do it for the moment.
Die, pig! Receive a
Well, that's it for the mobile guard, so let's take care of the shooters above the gate. I know that sections like this aren't very interesting to watch, but I'm sorry, I really have to do it this way. God damn it, this rocket launcher dude must have had one big breakfast because he's resilient as hell. Ah, finally. Now let's take the sonic cannon for a little test drive. Yes, Gibbs, I love it. But I'm also playing kinda shitty on purpose here because I want to demonstrate the downsides of the sonic cannon. The rate of fire isn't very fast and it will also eat through ammo rather quickly, and you also need to be kinda good at aiming to land each and every shot because the hitbox for the gun is very small.
Ranger, I've located Krugo in the slave pens at the rear of the mine. I've sealed off the 3rd and 4th levels, but you're gonna have to get a move on. I can only keep knowledge boons at bay for so long.
Oh man, I just love giving stuff. I'm sorry, I really can't say otherwise. I just love Gibbs and gore in FPS games.
Cover me!
Oh man, this will never stop to amuse me. Well, anyway, now we have to do what is maybe the hardest jump in this whole game. You have to carefully position yourself on this ledge, and then you also have to curve your jump around the corner ahead of you. And guess what? If you fail it, you just lose 3/4 of your health. Awesome. Luckily, I got it on my second try. And if you thought the level wasn't too hard so far, you better think again. Because this fucking room.
Snuff him out! I'm taking you down!
Really, the biggest challenge in this level is the abundance of enemy plasma weaponry. And since Mace moves rather sluggish, it's pretty hard to dodge all the shots.
Don't let him escape! I'm taking... Don't let him escape!
Well, seems like the area's quiet. Or not. Okay, now the area should be quiet. Nope. This is going to be a thing pretty much throughout the whole level. There will always be reinforcements that show up after you kill a few guys. As I said earlier, it's kind of understandable because Mace is pretty much assaulting a prison on his own. So yeah, you expect there to be a lot of guards. It's just that the change of pace in the combat comes out of pretty fucking nowhere. I mean, to be honest, so far this game hasn't been too hard. Aside from the sections that are designed to fuck you. Also, I got kinda spooked here because I can hear doors opening and closing in the distance, but I don't know where the enemies are. So yeah, I am kind of afraid that I get jumped with a rocket launcher. See, I knew that there was a guy around somewhere. The security cameras in this level aren't very useful, but I'm still going to check them out. Another thing that made recording this level somewhat difficult is that there are a lot of ways that you can go, but most of them actually just lead to dead ends or loop around. So even if you have your radar for most of this level, it's actually pretty hard to navigate it without getting lost.
hallway leads out into an interior cavern. You've got to find a way of reaching the cable car platform situated halfway through it.
Ahead of us is another high-density combat area that also killed me a bunch of times. Kinda disappointed that the explosion didn't give him. I know that the guy was lurking around the corner, but it still seems like he popped out of the boxes. Not my finest display of grenade launching, but at least I killed one of the snipers.
You! Kill! Stop him!
I have really no idea why I thought that I could kill the sniper with the assault rifle. Yeah, I deserve that. I'm not going to lie, there were times where I cleared this area more gracefully than this. But at the same time, I was getting kinda sick of recording this level. I hope you can understand that. It really took me some time to get a clear recording of this level without dying. Yeah, all the jump cuts before have actually just been me collecting shit. I haven't died up to this point. That sure were a lot of guards. Well, time to stock up again. This way will not lead to progress, but I'm going here on purpose. Because I wanted to funnel this spawn into the narrow corridor. Yes, nice. No idea how this guy survived, but whatever. I've already pointed out that there are several guard rooms around the facility, but it pays to take note of where they are, because you will come back through this area later and yeah, it's pretty handy to remember where you have left medpacks. This camera gives us a peek at the section that's ahead of us, the cable car ride. And it's going to be something, let me say that. In their infinite wisdom, the developers thought it would be a good idea to have the first cable car move too fast for you to get it, so yeah, we have to wait for another one to arrive. It won't take too long though. Also, I'm wondering if this is blood or some graphical glitch. It's probably blood, but I have no idea how it got up there. Anyway, on to the cable car ride. The two metal blocks next to me are my one and only friends for this section. The thing about the cable car ride is that you have to take a ride through a very large cave. And since the prison guards aren't dumb, they will station groups of snipers and rocket launcher guys in the cavern. You can maybe guess how this one will play out. Very poorly if you do not take cover all the fucking time. Like, I'm not even joking here. Maybe you think that you're some big kind of manly shooty man and that you can engage in a distance battle with the sniper groups, but no, they will kill the shit out of you. They have nearly perfect aim and can also target you over crazy distances, and the rocket launcher guys are also something to consider, because you don't really have enough space on the cable car to avoid the splash damage of the rockets. So yeah, lots of opportunities for dying.
Halfway into the cavern, you'll see a small precipice. Use that to leapfrog onto the cable car ledge.
Connor wants us to jump onto a rock formation in the middle of the ride, but doing that actually makes this section a lot harder, if only for the fact that you then have to jump onto a moving cable car and immediately do another jump to hit a kinda small opening. Yeah, that's not really a good idea, Connor. What the fuck is wrong with you? Staying on the cable car is actually the safer idea, except for all the snipers. Also, I'm letting this run on normal speed because I wanted to show off me thinking that I'm a big manly shooty man. And of course, I wanted to use the big plasma ball and redeem myself. But I failed miserably. God damn it. I will never master the fucking plasma ball. If you do not switch to the other cover spot in time, yep, those guys will kill the shit out of you. Like a lot of things do in this level. I don't want to sound like I'm whining all the time about this level, because overall I don't think that this is a bad level. It's just much more challenging than all the other levels have been so far. And there will also be a really shitty section at the very end of the level. But yeah, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. And now we are closing in on the point where I have to jump off my cable car. Standing up at this point will still get me targeted by snipers, but I pretty much have to do it eventually, because there will also be some guys that I need to kill before I can jump off the cable car. Doing this jump is also pretty hard, because the opening is kinda small and you also have to take the movement of the cable car into account. So yeah, I also failed this a bunch of times. But this time I landed it on the first try. Nice. And to celebrate that fact, I'm taking a small break here. This is also a very good spot to end the video. Next time we will free the Krugo and will also start a ride. Good times.